Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Sportscast, brought to you by the Outspoken Network, guys. Welcome in. It's your host, Brian, and we got special guest Paul from Bearski Films on. Paul, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Brian? How you doing tonight? Thanks for the invite.
I am good, sir. I appreciate you filling in. I don't want to say special guest anymore. You're basically a full member of the show.
Pretty regular. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to impose or anything either. I don't want you to get sick of me here. So, and then I see in chat, Aunt Mass is here. Bear down. Aunt Mass is one of my dedicated followers. I always appreciate him. Always participates in chat. He's a good dude. So, yeah,
Awesome,
it was
awesome.
a good week of football, man.
It was a great week of football. NFC, man, we just keep winning. Uh, we I don't know if you really care about our division as a whole being strong, but we're
Of course.
representing. We're representing. So thanks, Aunt Mass, for jumping on. I know you're a Bears fan. I'm sorry. I'm a Packer fan, but we'll get along. Hey, Cat, what's going on, Cat? Cat's been on our show for quite a while too. So thanks for jumping on, Cat. Yeah, Craig is. I don't know. It's hard for him to jump on Tuesdays with his work schedule. So keep your Tuesdays free. You might be a regular on here, Paul. But week,
Um,
go ahead.
yeah, I know. I just wanted to kind of say just about the NFC North. Man, did you see that Vikings Lions game?
No, because my team was playing the same time, so I did
Ah,
not.
dude, that
uh,
was a battle. Both those teams are so damn impressive. It is just it's it's kind of a little bit I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit worried about them because they are so damn good. Like
yeah,
it was a battle.
I saw someone say that. Man, they were a Bears fan. They're like, just our luck. We're having a good year, but everyone else in our division's great too. So
Yeah, I
it's
said
kind
it.
of funny, And oh, is that what you said? Maybe I saw it on your
Yeah,
page.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
I've been saying it a couple times. Like, we got everything finally going right for us, and yet here we are, fourth in the division. So it's kind of maddening in a way where we feel good about where we're at. We feel good about the team. However, this division is so damn good that
Y-
it hasn't ever been like this. And of
It
course, it
it
has to
doesn't,
happen on a
right?
year where we're doing
Bears are good.
well ourselves. Yeah.
Well, and I keep going back and forth. Like at the beginning of the year, at the beginning before the season started, I said Packers are going to win it, but a lot of people probably think the Lions, and then halfway through, I'm going, really, any of these teams could win it. I think the Lions and Vikings are obviously strong. Obviously, I think the Packers are strong, and the Bears. This is the best Bears team I've seen in a while. So you know, but yeah, 4-2 on any other division. Aunt Mass says y'all would be first place then. So it's kind of interesting, and we'll see. What it'd be crazy if the whole NFC North made the playoffs this year.
I know that's a possibility, and I've heard
Yeah,
that thrown around. Yeah, no, we're gonna beat up on each other here.
yeah,
The
we
second
all
half
play
of the
each other at
season
the end of the year. Yeah, so
is going to be really interesting. So,
all right, let's get our Week 7 takeaways. And one of my takeaways from Week 7 is the Jets still can't get the job done. They bring in Aaron Rodgers to be their savior. The coach ain't working out. They fired. We talked about that. They fired him. It was like already you're giving up already on this guy with Aaron Rodgers. Um, they played a little better, but they still lost to the Bills. They go out and get Devontae Adams, and who is a great wide receiver. Well, don't get me wrong, great wide receiver. And I was interested to see the connection again, but it just didn't work out. They got blown out by the Steelers. Russell Wilson starts it's his season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They scored 37 points. So I'd say it's pretty good. I know some of that came on the defensive side of the ball. Is this Rodgers? Is this? Do you think it's Aaron Rodgers that something's missing?
oh yeah, definitely. And like, they were one of my picks during the preseason to be one of the better teams this year to be competing for a Super Bowl. And part of that is just my Bears PTSD because I've seen Rodgers be so damn good and do it all and put it all on his shoulders. And I said, if this guy's got any gas left in a tank, like we're gonna see it, and he doesn't. It's empty. It's past empty. He's broken down on the side of the road. You know what I mean? At this point,
Yeah,
like, it's and
I was in the
and
same boat as you with that
and
thought.
it's the thing is, like, you want to believe in the guy just due to his history and everything like that. But this league is so tough and it's so consistent. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of no surprise. You're doing ayahuasca during the off season. You're not practicing with your team. What do you
Yeah,
think that's going to
yeah,
result in more success? No, like, you got to grind, man. The grind is part of the
yeah.
deal. And he doesn't want to do that anymore. And clearly it's affected them as,
100%. And we
yeah.
talked about this a little bit ago too. And a big part of it, I believe, is he handcuffs the offense because he doesn't do pre-snap motion. He hates it. He's old school. Line up, and I'm going to read the defense, and I'm going to beat you. And he still can make a good throw. He still has,
Yeah, but his
but it's
stubbornness to
yes,
progress and get more help from other areas and be
yes,
utilized in clutch moments, that's really what he should be. He should be leaning a lot more on his run game, and he's not, and things like that. He just refuses to change, but he has changed. He's not the same Aaron Rodgers he was.
yeah. And on paper, they before they got Adams, they had offensive weapons. They have a good, maybe their offensive line is not the best. It got better of the offseason. But so just adding one more weapon to the thing, and obviously it's not working out too well. They're 2-4. Um, he came out with his famous relaxed speech. Let's get back on track. But they got to turn it around pretty quickly, or they're going to find themselves with not better off than what they had last year with Wilson as their quarterback. Or was it what's his face? Um, Who was their quarterback last year? Zach Wilson. Yeah, I had it
Zach
right.
Wilson, yeah.
So right now
Yeah.
they were better last year. They had a better record at this point with Zach Wilson than Aaron Rodgers. So and they've
That's
added
crazy.
more to the team. That's absolutely insane.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, but I mean, in this league, you can't be one dimensional like that. The more ways you can win, the more you will win. So,
Yep. All right, Paul. What's a takeaway you got from week 7?
I got a couple friends who are Steelers fans, and my history as a Bears fan with Justin Fields. I saw a lot of his play over 3 years, and I have two fans in particular. One was for starting Russ, and the other one was totally against it. And my takeaway is that the Steelers made the right move by starting Russell Wilson. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Fields is still in a way kind of a project, and you got a guy that's been in the moments, been through the playoffs, won Super Bowls. Long term, that's your better option. It took a hell of a lot of guts from a very real coach to make that move. Heavily scrutinized. It's totally the right move in my opinion. So props to them.
It's 100% right move, and their record wasn't bad with Fields, but he wasn't doing enough. He wasn't the reason they were winning, and he was probably the reasons they were losing. If I said it, they should have beat the Cowboys. Um, if Russell Wilson was the quarterback, I believe they would. They owe it to Russ to being a veteran to give him another shot. Because what we saw him in Denver, he looked like he could no longer play. He looked like he was lost on the football field, which
Yeah,
was
but
crazy.
statistically, he still didn't have a bad season in Denver. It's just value wise for the amount of money he was getting paid, he didn't live up to it. But when you look at it on paper, at least the stats weren't all bad. I mean, I think he only threw 9 interceptions, 27 touchdowns. It's not a bad year from a guy.
Yeah, he, um, he looked good the other night, making some deep throws, making some good reads, moving around in the pocket. I think they're better. They're going to be a better football team going forward with him. And the way they handled the Jets was, I turned it off. I don't think I watched the whole game. I think I turned it off about halftime. It was still close, but I woke up the next morning and was like, "Holy crap!" I mean, absolute domination. The defense of the Steelers, and if you get a quarterback that can be be that what Russell Wilson was for him, and not lose them games, they're a dangerous football team.
Definitely, and you're going to need to be that if you expect to make any kind of impact in the playoffs and have any kind of success in the playoffs against the best AFC teams. So yeah, definitely they can't just rely on athleticism alone. They need a guy that's you know been through those moments. And like I said, Russ has a huge resume.
Yeah.
I would feel much better counting on him in those clutch moments. So
And we usually have a fan on our show, follower Derpy. and he's a Steelers fan. He was kind of giving me heck because I was hating on the Steelers this year with Justin Fields because he's not good. Um, I'm interested if he jumps on later when we talk about it, but uh, it's not that I don't like the Steelers or anything. It's just I've seen Fields. I've seen him for a couple years with the Bears. I know he's not good, so I didn't expect you guys. I still stand by it when they had a winning record with him. I'm like, it's your defense winning these games. So, um, but
Fields is he hit a wall in his progress when it came to quarterback play mentally, and you just saw that one is he's been hit a lot, and so is Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson is at the later end of his career where he can mentally, I think, handle it better. But for Fields, it's like it seemed to mess him up because now he's not willing to go through his progressions. He's afraid of getting hit, right? So it's one, maybe two, and take off, like, or start scrambling around. And these aren't planned scrambles. These are just, spur of the moment stuff. And then he's getting sacked back there left and right. And
yeah,
yeah, from time to time, there's a
he would take
huge
some
play
killer
because
sacks.
he is athletic. I mean, he's 6'4", 220, runs as fast as Tyreek Hill. That's it's a boulder coming at you when he's out in the field. But as far as consistency goes, he just struggled with that a whole
Hmm.
lot. So, on our show, we said the best thing for him, and believe me, I want the best thing for him. I like him as a person and everything. Like, he's a genuine stand-up guy, but he needs a year off. Like, he needed to sit this year, I felt, with little expectations, and for him to just start again right away was kind of like, I get it, it's due to injury, but what you really need is to sit, watch, calm down, let that pressure get off you. And the other thing is, like, he might be better suited um as a backup, like on the Ravens. They
Yeah.
completely changed their entire offense for Lamar to kind of adapt to what he does best. I think that's kind of what
Excuse me.
Fields needs too, because in that typical West Coast offense, he's just not very productive, and I don't think he's going to get much better at it.
We'll give him this. He's handled this like a champ. He said everything
Oh
right.
yeah,
They went after they benched him. That he's like, if I played good enough, there wouldn't be a question. But obviously,
he
there's room for me to grow and be better. So, um,
he's a good dude. That's what I mean. He's not going to give you any
yeah.
trouble off the field or anything like that. So
All right. One of my takeaways, and I know this team didn't play the Dallas Cowboys, but the panic meter. Where's the panic meter for Dallas? Is it an overreaction or an underreaction to say that the Dallas Cowboys season's over after going 3-3? Um, I'm gonna start it off with saying I think it's a little bit of an overreaction at 3-3 to say the season's complete washed. But I don't see with the roster that they have, I don't see it getting better. I don't see them winning the division. They might make the playoffs. I don't know. Right now, it's very, very fuzzy for the Dallas Cowboys because even when the team was healthy, right? They want to say that it's because of injuries. Okay, even when your team was healthy, it didn't look all that great, right? You got Market Parsons and Lawrence on the defensive line. You still didn't look that great. And your two wins were what the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants. That's those are terrible teams. And you did beat the Steelers with Justin Fields, but they come off the bye. They play the 49ers, which the 49ers are injury. They have the injury bug going on too. But I really think it starts with this next game. If they come out and get killed like they did against the Lions, um, and the Ravens manhandled them at home, then I think we're full on panic mode in Dallas. I really think if they get blown away. Now, I don't think they're going to beat the 49ers. But can they hang in there with them? Is that a moral victory for the Dallas Cowboys? Because I think that everyone's getting ready to hit that panic mode here in Dallas.
honestly, I would have hit the panic button in the off season. I would have made a coaching change and said we need
Yeah.
something different. The talent looks like it's there, right? So what can we change to improve this thing, and to me, it would have been coaching. I think that would have given more life and everything like that. But no, you saw them stick by McCarthy, and okay, so now you're 3-3. The division's not that great, in my opinion. So just for the sake
Yeah.
of consistency, they're riding this thing out. Okay, I mean the money's going to Dak Prescott, so it's on him. He's got to do it. You know what I mean? He's got to go out
Yeah.
there and compete with guys like Lamar, and he's got to, they got to be able to compete with these top tier teams because they're paying a quarterback top tier money. So, um, yeah, definitely these next two games, I believe, are going to dictate a lot. I don't know when their bye week is though, but
They
just
just
in
had it last
general.
week.
Oh, they just had it last week. Okay, so yeah, the
Yeah.
next 2 weeks are going to dictate a lot because then you have the trade deadline coming up. So, if you're 5-3, that's one thing. If you're 3-5, then do you shop around Micah Parsons? Do you shop
Yeah.
around some of these guys and start, uh, kind of a rebuild? So yeah, I mean, listen, 3-3, they're riding out the consistency thing. I get it. I wouldn't panic just yet because it's not what their game plan was. But me personally, I would have tried to been a step ahead and say, hey, this thing isn't good enough. And you saw that against a real team like the Lions. Like the Lions are good enough, and you're nowhere near that. That's where you're going to have to be. So, from my point of view, I would have tried to been a step ahead and done some changes this offseason. But hey, they want to do what
Yeah.
they want to do.
And,
Got
and,
to
and
ride it
Jerry
out.
Jones getting killed, um, because the talking heads are talking about this too. You don't have a running back. Your running back room is garbage. It's not going to work. Why didn't you sign Derrick Henry? Why didn't you do this? And he went off on him last week, and it was quite entertaining to hear. But
Yeah.
then you got the 49ers, the Falcons, the Eagles, and the Texans the next 4 games. None of those are cakewalks. Depends on
No,
which Falcons team shows up. They're a little bit inconsistent, but the Eagles are going to play you tough. They're divisional. They're divisional, and the Texans are a top 10 team in the NFL. Um, so the schedule doesn't get any easier.
yeah, and I said this and I say it. I feel like a broken record sometimes, but like for any team to go off and win a Super Bowl, you need three things: you need to be talented, you need to stay healthy, and you need to get lucky.
Yeah,
And sometimes that luck can be really the defining factor. Like you look at the Eagles. I mean, their starting quarterback went down. They had Nick Foles in there that
yeah,
got Super Bowl MVP. 3 years later, he was third string on the Bears. 3 years later, Doug Peterson, their head coach, was fired. Right. So they got really lucky in that moment and carried them all the way. When you look at the Cowboys, they have talent. They're fairly healthy. You know what I mean? But it just feels like they're going to really need to get lucky because that talent isn't coming together and giving you any kind of real progress or real production on the field. So, um, can they do it? Yeah. I mean, this group of guys has been together long enough. So could they turn it around and change it? Yeah, and if luck goes their way a little bit, they still have a shot. You know what I mean? But I don't feel great about it whatsoever. So, yeah, you're right. None of those games are cakewalks. It is any given Sunday. I could see them potentially winning all four in individual matchups, but it's just not going to happen, right? Like, you're most likely going to get beat up on a little bit unless the ball starts bouncing your way a little bit and you figure things out really fast in Dallas. So,
I knew Ryan. Oh, I knew it, Ryan. Ryan Sims says, "How are we healthy?"
I
Um,
mean, I'm not going to pretend like I follow Dallas
yeah,
to the core. I don't think any
they.
team is fully healthy, but I think your main stars are still there, right?
Well, I will say this with Ryan. They're missing Micah Parsons, Demarcus Lawrence on the defensive line,
Okay.
and they're missing their cornerback in Bland. They're missing a wide receiver who they never throw the ball to anyway. So, but here's the bottom line with the Dallas Cowboys. Ryan, we were talking about the panic meter for Dallas, overreaction, underreaction. If this team season's over, I said a little bit of an overreaction, but they got to start winning after the bye. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't give teams the benefit of the doubt unless they lose their starting quarterback because every team's injured. So I'm not gonna really give you too much of a pass there, Ryan, on it.
And then the other thing is like what kind of injury? Like, are you up for the year? Which my bad. I didn't do my homework. I didn't realize Micah Parsons is out. That is huge. Like that should be one of your guys that's out there contributing to your team's success and your team wins.
I
But
don't.
yeah, like you said, every team does have injuries. I'm talking about big time injuries that are going to really affect you through the end of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I mean, yeah, and they have had our top four edge starters, middle linebacker, and Brandon Cooks. You don't even throw the ball to Cooks. He's not even. He's a nobody. He's a guy who's underachieved coming over to Dallas. So I'm
And you're
not gonna.
paying the quarterback, so I expect him to lead this thing. I get your defense is a little down, but go out there
We'll
and win
see.
some
Three and
games.
three. I think it's a big game against the 49ers. Can you stay with them? I don't expect you to win, but can you stay with them? Any other team we should be hitting the panic meter on? Ball that you think of that might be wanting to hit
Yeah,
the panic meter?
I mean, I think we talked about the Jets, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's one in my opinion that's right up there. Um, Cleveland Browns might actually be better off without Deshaun Watson, but they should definitely be in sell now mode for sure. And we've
Sell
heard
now.
some, yeah, we've heard some talks. Isn't it funny how the owners in this league did not want the Browns to make this move for Deshaun Watson to give him all this guaranteed money. They paid him $1 million his first year in case he gets suspended for a couple weeks. That only affects that year's salary. So they really did a deal for him and backloading this contract and everything. And it costs just so much in draft capital and everything. But I don't know if they ever really considered the fact that it might cost them Myles Garrett in the long run. And that's what it's looking like. They put themselves in a
Yeah.
situation where their top stars don't want to be there. You know what I mean? I think the Jaguars, even though they won this last game, I've seen
Sell
them
mode.
on the
Trevor
shopping block a little bit. Yes,
Trevor
sell
Lawrence
mode.
is not good.
Correct. So I'd be
I think
pressing the panic button a little bit
I
there. I
think the
don't
Bengals
trust.
should be passing pressing that button. The Bengals, they barely beat the Browns this weekend by a touchdown.
They did, but I
They
came
have a
on your show
quarterback.
a couple
I
weeks
know, I
ago,
know you
and
did.
I told you they're gonna win the next four in a row. So we're two in. They've won the two. They're doing what I said. They're gonna be a 5-4 team. I don't believe
Are
in them
they?
pressing.
I just don't know. I don't know about the Bengals. And I love Joe Burrow. I think he's one of the best in football, but I don't know. It just feels like something's missing. Is it the defense? They say the defense isn't very good. Bro, okay. Hold on.
Ryan
Right.
trying to
He
push
is
my
trying to
buttons, trying to
Lions
do it.
own the North. Bro, they just whooped y'all 47-9. They own you too, apparently. Are
They're a
they the
damn good
best
team.
are they the best team in our division?
They're the
Probably.
best team in the NFC
Probably.
probably right now.
Probably the best team in the NFC. I say Packers are right there with them. Packers, they just beat the Texans, 5-2.
Oh God.
Um, Vikings are 5-1. Oh God, me the Texans are a good dag of football team. We'll get into that in 1 second here, sir. All right. Um, but a lot of people have owned the Bears in the last couple of years. So you know what?
Hey, bring it at me. Listen,
Oh man.
I don't feel that good about your Packers. I really don't.
You don't have to because you're. I don't think you're ever gonna feel good about the Packers. But
Oh, I have in the past.
let's
Yeah.
talk about it because that's my next thing. Packers defense was great. We shut down Stroud. Stroud had 87 passing yards. He's over on the sideline throwing his helmet on the ground because we're frustrating the hell out of him. We're getting pressure. I did not expect that from our defense. Um, you got you got tr- you got Diggs over there trying to fight the whole Packer team before the game because he never does good against Alexander. Locks him down. He can't play against Alexander. It's fantastic. And we finally got a kicker. Oh my gosh, we finally got a kicker. Thank you. Thank you. We finally got a kicker. I didn't think we were going to win that game. I thought the Texans were going to run the clock out, kick the chip game winning field goal, but they couldn't get a first down. Our kicker hits the game winner, and it's great. And okay, all right, hold up. Texans are overrated. Don't forget they lost their number one wide
Well, you
receiver.
look at their
First of
schedule
all,
and the teams that they beat, Brian. all the teams, all their wins come from beating on 2-5 and 1-6 teams.
First of all, I don't want to hear that. Last year it was the Texans are going to be the next best thing. They're going to be amazing. This coach and this quarterback and Stroud's better than Love, and he's going to be amazing. And what did we do? We shut him down. We beat him. I'm hanging that one on my win column, baby. That was a great win. Our defense played great. If you take away the interception when they scored on and the muffed punt, then it's not even that close of a football game. So Ryan, don't give me the Texans are overrated and they're not as good. Everyone was hyping them up last year, saying how good this team's going to be and how good this quarterback is, and we just beat them. So I'm going to take that with
Congratulations.
with some. I'm going to say it with my chest. That was a good football win.
You should feel good about that. They are what they were a 5-1 football team coming into Green Bay, so obviously that is not an easy feat by any means. And you beat like what the fifth, sixth best AFC team. Good job. Um, in even our division, I truly think the way the standings are set right now are actually pretty accurate. Um, Other than the Vikings being on top, I think the Lions are top dog. This Vikings team, man, I don't want to believe it, but I have to now just because what they're showing me. They're for real. Your Packers are pretty good this year. Jordan Love to me still is.
I know you don't like Jordan Love. Let's get
It's
on.
not that
Let's
I
get
don't
past
like
that.
him. It's not that I don't like him.
Ryan,
It's just I see what I see. Like I gave Rodgers all the praise in the world. I hated
I know you
Rodgers,
do.
but I
I know
knew how
you do.
good he was. I just don't think Jordan Love is all that good. I think you still see a lot of sloppy football from him. I still
Trash
see,
take, Ryan. Trash take.
and no, it might be accurate. And then
That's trash
you know,
take. Trash
uh,
take. Look,
well,
look, and I'm gonna say this to Packer fans too. You obviously didn't watch Jordan Love in college. Jordan Love threw a lot of interceptions in college. He's gonna throw interceptions. We lived through it with Brett Favre. He's aggressive though. I'll take that any day. Now Rodgers was great. Rodgers had such a insane record breaking not turn over the ball ratio. It was insane. Like no one's gonna beat that ever again. We can't expect it to be Rodgers. But Rodgers at times would not risk it. He would not be aggressive. Love's aggressive, and I like it. I'm going to live with the interceptions because at the end of the day, I believe he's going to make the throws he needs to.
yeah,
So,
and I think that's where we differ. I think in those clutch moments is where he's going to fail instead of succeed. But I mean, but he'll get you to those moments where you need to be clutch in order to win the game. And that says a lot. I mean, like we said, all four of these teams in this division might be playoff teams potentially, but I just, I look at the Lions, I look at the Vikings, they're just way better than the Packers or the Bears.
I wouldn't say way better, but I don't know. I don't we should have beat Minnesota. Bottom line, we didn't. I know, but we should have beat them. I'm not sitting here saying they're way better
Shoulda,
than us.
coulda, woulda. You could do this
Lions
every week with
Lions are
every team.
tough. Lions are the better football team. Um, then I would say it probably goes Lions, Green Bay, Vikings, and then the Bears. But um, Ryan says that your quarterback's a bust already.
Yeah, well, Ryan doesn't seem to be too
He's
sore, so
he's hating on somebody. He's mad that his team is the Dallas Cowboys.
pretty
Um,
much.
you got any other takeaways from Week 7?
Um, no, not really. Like I said, it was really just that Vikings Lions, how good they are. I was just really impressed with that game and just the battle and how good those coaches are coaching both sides of the ball up. It's really impressive. The way Jared Goff is playing. I am not a Jared Goff fan at all. But you got to give credit when credit's due. I mean, I feel like the Rams literally traded him away so they could win one, and he's
Yeah.
playing just as good he was playing last year. So he is in the prime of his career, playing some damn good football. And even with all the exotic blitz packages they were throwing at him and stuff, he was still productive and getting it done. So I came away very impressed with both teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I believe the Vikings still. I don't know. I don't know. Now it's a little annoying that what's his face our running back is over there doing good,
Yeah, Aaron Jones.
but our
I do have one more
our running
take though.
back's actually been pretty damn good.
Yeah, and it's going to be kind of just a copycat of one I did last time I was on the show with you. It's the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in this league. I mean, hands down. So impressive. Just Patrick Mahomes is out there. Just he's it's so slow to him. It's so funny, man. He had one rush up the sideline where he managed to get a first down, and the guy coming in just came a little bit too aggressive, stepped out of bounds. He just took off for another 20 yards. Like, dude,
See,
it's just so
and
easy for him at this point, and it's so
that's
impressive to watch.
that's annoying too because if they hit him right there, it's a penalty. So I'm like, but
Okay,
I'd rather lay him out than right there than and get the penalty.
me too. And
And that
so, like,
someone
and
showed
like
a
your guy Aaron Rodgers used to do it all the time with the 12 men on the field.
oh, it's
So you
great,
find a loophole if you could rush
it's
the
great.
offense back up and snap the ball while the defense is still making adjustments.
They showed
And, and so when you can do those things, take advantage of them. Go ahead; they're in your favor. Patrick Mahomes just taking advantage of what's there for him. So I hear you. I'd lay him out too, though. I would every
it's
time.
funny because someone posted a video when we played the Chiefs last, and it was like lay him out like Green Bay did, and exactly he's running on the sideline and Green Bay laid him out, and I think they called a penalty, but I'm like, it's worth it at
Oh,
that
I
point.
remember when you guys faced the 49ers back in the day with Colin Kaepernick, and they were scrambling around everywhere. They
We don't
asked
do
you
good
guys
at
like,
rushing quarterbacks.
no, but they
We
asked
just
you guys like,
we
what's your
just
game
don't
plan? And you guys are like, just hit him.
just hit him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna scramble around. We're just gonna hit him. Like we're just gonna keep hitting him, and that'll do the trick sometimes. So
it's funny that it's funny that um Jordan Love and Patrick Mahomes had the same amount of interceptions, I believe, this year, and everyone's like, "Oh, Jordan Love interceptions," but no one's talking about it with Mahomes. I'm like,
well, Mahomes has earned the
let's
right of
let-
respect.
let's talk about how our quarterback has more touchdown passes than Patrick Mahomes. But no,
Yeah.
anyways, anyways, I digress. Let's get our I guess our top week 7 power rankings. And I guess we'll go from 1 to 5 since you already said the Chiefs are the best football team.
100%.
I moved them up this week. I had them at number 2 or 3 last week. I put them at number 1. They beat the 49ers. They beat them pretty handily on the road in a hostile place to play against a good coach. They are injury prone, but like I said, I'm not gonna give the benefit of the doubt for that. They went out there and they beat the team. I got the Chiefs number 1. I'm guessing you have the Chiefs number 1 as well.
100%. Chiefs are the team to beat for everybody in the league right now, and they, you keep hearing knocks on them. Keep hearing criticism about their talent and this and that, whatever, and still they're just winning. They're just out there winning games left and right. So
Yeah.
yeah,
At the end of the day, it's all that matters. My number 2 team is the Detroit Lions. They go in and murder the Cowboys on live TV, and then they go and they play the Vikings and they beat them on the road. Um, Jared Goff is playing the best football of his career. He had a really good year last year. He's like 16 of 16, 17 of 18, not missing a lot of throws, very efficient. And this team wins on defense. They're the special teams. It's well coached. I think was it Ben Johnson? I think he's gone next year. Um, I got the Lions number 2, and I don't think I think it's hard to put anybody else there at this
uh,
point.
I mean, I have the Ravens at number 2. I still think the AFC is just a powerhouse, and um, uh, there's multiple AFC teams that are just better than the NFC. However, the Lions, man, they are making a case for themselves. But I saw the Ravens at number 2. I think they're the real deal.
Who do you got number 3?
And this is where it's kind of hard for me because, like I said, I'm so high on the AFC, but I think Detroit has earned that spot for me. I think, like you said, Ben Johnson is doing some good work up there, and they're you got to give credit where credit's due. Jared Goff is playing top notch football right now.
I got the Vikings at number 3. I had them number 1 last week. They dropped two spots for me this week because they lost to the Lions at home. Not a bad loss. It's a game they should have won. I mean, they get kind of gave it away at the end there. Um, but they played well enough to win. I shouldn't say should have won, but they played well enough to win. They're still tough. I think their defense is really surprising this year. It's how good they were. And Sam Darnold's kind of resurrected his career a little bit. It's just one season, so we'll see. And if they sign him for next year, I know they got JJ McCarthy, who I don't think is gonna be very good. But number 4, I have the Baltimore Ravens, a team that you've been high on all year long. They're a good football team. They tried to give this game away the other day in the fourth. They gave it 21 points in the fourth quarter, as they usually try to give it away. But um, I got the Ravens at number 4. Antmus says if Detroit doesn't win it all, I will be shocked. You know, they're very strong, and they're very, very strong, and I think they could win it. I know, they should have beat the 49ers last year, and they should have been in the Super Bowl last year, and they missed their opportunity. So, they're very hungry, very well talented, well coached, and they do a lot of things right. So, I wouldn't. I would be shocked if it's anybody but the Chiefs because they win every freaking year, and it's really annoying. But I could see the Lions definitely going and representing the NFC.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they're hands down the best team on the NFC side. Um, and it's their shot this year because, like you said, Ben Johnson is going to leave and he's going to take a head coaching position. And I feel that he is what drives a lot of that success on the offense. So, um,
Could be Dallas Cowboys' next head coach. Let's hope not, but
yeah, that would be a
we'll
good
see.
move by the
That would
Cowboys
be.
if they made it. So,
That would be.
as much as Ryan thinks I hate him for some reason, I really don't. It's
Just
just
taking
see what I
shots at
see.
the.
So,
Um,
whatever. I mean,
he likes to stir the pot. I will give that, but he's a good dude. He just likes to stir the pot.
dude, I'm a
He's a
Bears
he's
fan. My pot's frozen over. Like
he's a
you're not stirring
he's
anything
an
here.
angry Cowboys fan. Um, who do you got number 4?
Number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills. Like I said before, man, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year. However, they found themselves to kind of be forming into like a run first team. And Josh Allen, I believe, is the only quarterback this year without an interception throw. So if we're talking about
Wow.
playing top notch football, he is on top of his game right now, and they're still rocking and rolling. I believe they're 5-2, top of their division. I don't see the other teams in their division giving them much of a hard time. So yeah, I think they definitely make my top 5 for sure at number 4.
Yeah, I'm still talking about Detroit here. It says they're looking like the most complete team. You know, that's one thing I talked about. You know, that before the season is they can beat you on defense, they can beat you on offense, they can beat you on special teams. They're all 3 phases. They always coaches always talk about all 3 phases, and Detroit does all 3 phases really well. So
And then he said if Kansas City wins, it's like, well, if Kansas City wins, it's probably the most probable outcome at the moment.
I
Patrick Mahomes is that damn good.
Aunt
I'm gonna
Miss,
keep saying it.
I agree with you. If they win, it's got to be rigged. Obviously joking, but I just can't stand that Kansas City keeps winning it all.
I know, but it's greatness, man. It's right in front of us. They got everything. They got the good head coach. They got the good quarterback. They got good talent on their team still. It's all
The
clicking still.
defense is good.
They just yeah
It's
they'll win
just
in different ways, and it's it's really hard to beat that damn team. And they've done it now for a couple years in a row. It's mind boggling. I mean, we'll get to our fifth power ranking, and then I want to kind of talk about the landscape of the NFL with you real quick. But
okay.
yeah, let's do number 5.
Number 5, I got the Green Bay Packers. And last week I had the Texans at number 5. We just beat them. The Packers, I got my number 5. Um, love back, love throwing touchdown passes. He made a beautiful pass. Oh man, I don't know if you saw it. Beautiful pass. I jumped up off the couch and said that was a thing of beauty. Right out of the fingertips of the defense to Kraft in the end zone with a diving catch. Amazing. Um, he's been playing aggressive. I like it. I like our defense really impressed me though this week. They held Stroud to 87 yards. They uh they gave up Mixon 115 yards, but you can run all you want. If your quarterback ain't throwing the ball on us, then you're not going to win the football game. And we got to clean up the mistakes and the interceptions, but this team has a good chance, and I am in the top five.
Yeah, and I think your marbles are jiggling a little bit. I think that's your fandom kind of coming into play, and
Hey,
you being
Craig
a
had him in
little
the
bit
top five
biased.
2 weeks ago, so
He
I'm just
did, he
saying.
did. No, I hear you, and I just gotta say, like, my fifth would be the Vikings. Then I think the Lions and the Vikings are the two
I already
NFC
have them
teams I
up
would have.
here, the Lions and Vikings. So, but
Yeah, I mean, no, and then like I said, for me, it's Kansas City, it's the Ravens, and it's the Bills that are true contenders, and then the Lions have made a case for themselves. And I can't keep denying Minnesota week after week. They're just damn good. You're still up there though too, but I don't feel that good about the Packers as
we're
you do.
top 10, definitely. I am
Yeah.
five, but I don't think you get 10 better teams than us. Um,
So
but
I
I
told you I wanted to
digress.
talk about the
The
landscape of the
landscape
NFL.
of the NFL.
It's really interesting because I'll ask you, who are the Super Bowl? I mean, who are the quarterbacks in this league that have a Super Bowl ring right now?
You got Aaron Rodgers,
Okay, which he's at the end of his career.
end of his career. You have let's see. Let me go through the teams here and think. You got Joe Flacco.
Who's at the end of his career, backup quarterback right now.
You have it's not Dallas, we know that.
No,
Um
definitely not. Sorry, Ryan.
is that no, there's gotta be more. Is that no, you
The
got sorry, Stafford.
Stafford is another one. He's also towards the end of his career. I mean, he's still playing all right, but
Is that it? Three?
no, there's another two.
Two?
One's the obvious one that has three of them
Oh, Patrick Mahomes. I
and is
mean,
in the prime of his career
yeah.
and is not going away anytime soon. And the other one is Russell Wilson,
Oh,
who
Russell Wilson.
just started but was
Who should
down for the
have
season.
two if they ran the ball at the 1 yard line, but that's
Listen, man, this is what I'm saying though. It's everybody against Patrick Mahomes, and like the only reason Matt Stafford has one is because Joe Burrow beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship that year, and the Cincinnati Bengals are a much more beatable team than the Kansas City Chiefs are. It's just the Bengals have matched up well against them, and they happen to get one out of them. And Matt Stafford is the guy that truly benefited from that AFC
yeah.
Championship win by the Bengals, right? So, um, it's rough, man. It's really rough. You have teams like the 49ers that have gone all in and not had the success of winning one. You know what I mean? And so if I'm the Lions right now, yeah, I'm making a trade for one of these top defensive ends for sure, especially if mine just
Yeah.
went down. You're
Go
going
out
to
and get
need
Jason
everything. You're going to need to be firing on all cylinders
go
in
out
every phase of
and
the
call
game. You're going to need good coaching. You're going to need it all
the
to even
Browns.
stand a chance against this guy because he's winning every year. He's winning every week. You know what I mean? So it's so hard. It's such an uphill battle for I feel the rest of the NFL, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So when it comes to teams like Dallas, I talked about the three things you need: health, talent, and luck. Like a lot of these teams are going to be depending on getting really lucky because the
Luck
Chiefs
plays a
have
lot into it.
everybody. Yeah, the Chiefs have everybody beaten on a
And
talent part
if we
just because the quarterback.
if we really want to think about it, this might be the worst quarterback group in the NFL we've seen in a really long time.
Well, the NFC is like wide open, and this is what ayahuasca does to you. Like, why would Rodgers go to the AFC? It makes no sense. You were a top dog here. You know what I mean? And now who's top dog? Jared Goff? Give Kirk Cousins, Brock Purdy out there, like Jalen
Um,
Hurts. You have Dak Prescott, I guess you got to mention out there. But like these top NFC quarterbacks, they're not unbeatable. Whereas like the AFC side, between Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and even throw CJ Stroud in there now. Aaron Rodgers is on that side now, and I know he's not playing that great, but just to give him the benefit of the doubt, Russell Wilson's there. Like you have a handful of good quarterbacks, whereas on this side, I don't know. I think the whole NFC is kind of for the taking, and that's where I find this interesting because you could really someone's going to do it. One of these teams is going to do it. They're going to have a quarterback that's going to be so good that they're just going to start powerhousing every year, I think, because the opportunity is there for it. So,
Green Bay, another Jordan Love.
well, so I
I
mean,
know you.
we as Bears fans got to
Oh
think
man,
it's
it's
going to be
Caleb
Caleb
Williams.
Williams, but
Yeah,
we brought up the fact that, like, well, what if it is Jordan Love? It would drive me absolutely insane. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
right now, Jared Goff's who you have to be better than, and it's not. Brock Purdy is on a team that's very well balanced. You could put a lot of quarterbacks in that position that are better than Brock Purdy, and they'll have a lot of success. Um,
I
but
just think
yeah,
in general, going from the quarterbacks we grew up watching. I mean, this is probably the worst quarterback group, and they talk about the offensive scoring has been down and all. It's probably because this is the worst quarterback group we've seen in a long time, where we've seen all those legends retire or they're at the end of their careers, and we have got a lot of new guys, and it's just these are kind of the the ebbs and flows of the NFL. And they talk about how is running the ball going to be back in style instead of throwing the ball, and um, so it'll be interesting to see. But like, yeah, you're right. The quarterback room is way better on the AFC than NFC, hands
and
down. It's not even
and this
close.
it's kind of weird because it's like all these rules changes that happen. You're kind of seeing the back end effect of it now. I know Tom Brady mentioned it once. He said he had to study his ass off.
Yeah,
Like you had to be a master of your craft. Now you can go in there, toss up lollipop balls, and get pass interference calls, and have success. And so, now you can throw to guys over the middle, and they can't get obliterated. Like I remember, Kurt Warner almost quit when he threw Anquan Bolden that touchdown, and he got just sandwiched. Had to get his
oh,
jaw rewired, and you
oh,
threw that guy dead. That used to be a real
yeah,
thing in the NFL. You used to
yeah,
throw your wide receivers dead, and you used to have to avoid doing that. Like there was a lot more that would go into that position, and now you're seeing, like, you look at this draft class with Trevor Lawrence. All five of those quarterbacks, including him now, are no good. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They're just not that.
yeah,
And so yeah, there is an effect from that we're kind of feeling now. Where we're looking at this league going, man, these, like you said, these guys that are at the end of their careers, they played real football. You know what I mean? And like I know we mentioned we're similar in age. Like we both remember using VHSs and then
yeah.
DVDs. It wasn't just always wireless. Like, and so this next generation's kind of got it easier, and because of that, it is affected their play. And this is the NFL. Like, you're going to need top notch play from your quarterback, and so because of that, I think they're right. Like, running the ball may become a little bit more of an option if your guys aren't just that good to do it. But it also, like I said, opens up an opportunity for someone to come out here and ball,
Yeah.
really, really just take advantage of it.
Um, let's see. Pretenders, contenders. I mean, obviously the Chiefs. If you're looking at the right now, it looks like the Chiefs are going to win it again. Um, I don't believe in Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. I think Houston has the potential to maybe beat Kansas City, but they've got to start playing like they did last year. Buffalo's an interesting one to me. If it wasn't for a coin flip, then maybe Buffalo beat them a couple years ago.
Yep,
I think that's probably your AFC Championship again, Buffalo, Kansas City.
it's very
But
likely. What do
go
you?
look at.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, go look at the NFC West. Seattle's leading it with 4-3. Atlanta's and Tampa Bay are tied. I think I said Atlanta's probably going to win that division, but Tampa Bay's pretty tough. The Commanders probably win the East unless Philly or Dallas turn it on, and the NFC North is a toss up between a lot of the teams there to win it. So,
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, what do you think about my Bears team?
ooh, what do I think about your Bears
Well, we
team?
just had a bye week, so we came off of 2 weeks where we outscored our opponents pretty well. We dominated both games against two very bad defenses. I believe each week they were the worst defense, but still, that's what you would want, right? You would want to go out and dominate a bad
Right.
defense. But yeah, and now we
You know,
were in a bye week. But like, how do you,
I think,
from afar as a Packers fan, what
yeah.
do you think about where we're at?
Well, it's funny because so many people like to go, "You didn't play nobody good," and it's like, okay, well, I don't make my schedule. This isn't college. I don't get to pick what teams I play.
Everybody's pretty good too. Like it is any given Sunday.
Yeah,
Not every week is just a guaranteed win. You still have to go out there
yeah.
and win.
And when you're a good team expecting to win, you play a bad team, you want to see them beat them down, right? So you did what you did. You beat the Panthers. They're a terrible football team. I've told you that Caleb Williams has progressed from week one. Is he where he needs to be yet? No. But I think there's progression there. Your defense has been good. It's one of those things. It's kind of like they're not as good as the Ravens defense, but they're always pretty much had a really well-rounded defense. They play physical, they play tough, they get after the quarterback. Um, I think I think your team is exactly where they need to be right now. 4-2. Um, I think they've little shocked me with that. I've expected maybe a 2-4 or 3-3. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I predicted 3-3 at this point, so they're a game ahead
a
of where
little
I
bit ahead
am.
of what you had him. I think Caleb Williams has progressed, and we saw him week one, and I said, "Wow, if that's what they got to look forward to, ouch, that's not an NFL quarterback." But we've seen him progress. We've seen him stay in the pocket. We've seen him run out of the pocket and make throws when he needs to make them. Um, Sometimes he tries to make those throws and throws into the triple coverage and gets it picked off. That's things he's going to have to learn. I do think the team respects him. I think he's learned. He's have enough leadership skills for that locker room, which my biggest thing was him was not his talent. His talent's been there, right? We've seen him make some good throws and make some credible moves. It's just this guy work ethic isn't there. And that was Craig's biggest thing. Um, I think you've seen him progress. I think it's exactly what you want. He hasn't lit it up, but he's looked good against the bad teams. Um, and I think this at 4-2, the Bears have got to be pretty happy where they're at, honestly.
Yeah, and this is why I have a lot of confidence in him because I've seen, for me, this year was very big about the eye test. I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of little stuff from him that I've been very impressed with. For example, just calling out blitzes at the line, walking up to the lineman, pointing at guys, and those are the guys that are actually coming. We didn't see that with Trubisky or Fields. They weren't good enough. They were still trying to, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they were relying more on their coaches than
Yeah.
Caleb is. I've seen him trot to the sidelines, chewing out our offensive coordinator because the play call wasn't coming in fast enough. So now you're setting expectations for your coordinators and your coaches, and to me, that is huge. Um, I want a guy that can overcome our coaches just because I don't really believe in them. You
Yeah,
know what I
the
mean?
your
And
coaching
so
staff's not very good in my opinion.
no, and in mine either, but they are doing the things that they need to do to be where they're at. It's just can they continue to do them, and that's why I think just for the NFC North in general, or at least us as Bears fans, all of our division games are in the back end of our season.
Yeah,
I know you
and
guys have
that's
already
gonna make
picked.
it interesting.
It is. It's very interesting, but it's also very exciting because now
Yeah,
I feel way better off facing these good teams since we blew out some of these bad teams. And like I said, it kind of lets us know where we stand. So now I'm more ready for the next challenge and the next step instead of kind of being intimidated. I'm kind of excited to see, yeah, can we go out there and play well against,
yeah.
our
My
division stacked? Like, let's see it.
yeah, my question is for the Bears is can they can they live up to the pace of our division? Can they keep up with it? And I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for anybody at this point. No one has a losing record. Um, you're 4-2 in your last place of your division. That's insane. Um, so we'll see, and I think it's made for the ending of our seasons to be really, really entertaining.
Yeah, I really, really like how the schedule is set up. So I just thought it was interesting. And, especially from our point of view, for our benefit, it allows the most slop together part of our team, which is our offense. Like we got a lot of moving pieces this year. New quarterback. We got, another receiver in Keenan Allen. We got another receiver in Roma Dunze that just joined the team. Our backup tight end, Gerald Everett, is new. So our offensive line is kind of in shambles. We got a new running back. So there's a lot of new pieces. It allows them the opportunity to gel as much as they can before we get to the games that really truly matter. And so, I was hoping to lean on our defense early on this year, which we did. And I'm hoping that there is a shift where we could lean a little bit more on the offense as the year goes on and actually compete with you guys. So, yeah, I think it's exciting for this entire division to be where every team's at.
Yeah, if you tell me we're gonna lose 11 and be 5-2 right now, I would take it. So
Oh,
um,
100%.
I think it's crazy because you look at this division with the quarterbacks, the talent, and the coaching staffs. Other than the Bears, I don't think, like we said, the Bears coaching is their weakness. Um, it's tough. It's tough. I really like Lafleur. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Um, we talk about Ben Johnson. I like Dan Campbell. I know you're not that big a fan of him, but with Ben Johnson there, and then you got O'Connell over there with Brian Flores at Minnesota. So the coaching staff on our end is I think going to be around for quite a while,
And
unless Ben Johnson leaves for the head coaching job. But
like, if the Vikings lost their quarterback, well, they did lose their quarterback. They're still good. Like you said,
yeah,
you're 5-2 with losing Jordan Love, right? And because the coaching staff is able to formulate a good game plan, even get Malik Willis halfway through the week in here and have him have a good game and
yeah,
whatnot. But like, okay, so if the Lions lost Jared Goff, I think they'd see a step back, and if the Bears lost Caleb Williams, I think they'd see a step back.
yeah.
Which is why I keep telling you,
Minnesota's for real.
Love is
Love is.
not that great. He's good. He's a solid good. You're gonna find yourself in a position where he's gonna be the reason why you need to win, and I don't think he's going to be. And that's why I also have my doubts with Minnesota. But yeah, so and I'm interested to see, like, at the end of the year, if I give you a hypothetical, regardless of contract, like Love straight up for Caleb Williams, would you do it? Because right now I know what your answer would be, but I want to wait till the end of the year and ask you that and see where you kind of stand on that, because I do think that you will be finding yourself looking to upgrade the quarterback position at some point. And it's not going to be anytime soon. You just signed the guy. So you're going to
Yeah,
ride it out and be a more balanced type of team and, try and have success that way. So I
and this
it's
might
working.
be it's working, and this might be
Yeah.
one of those situations that like, and I wasn't sold on Love last year, the first half of the season. Last half, man, this guy continues this, we're gonna be great. The first half this year, he sold me. I think he's gonna be good. Do I think he's gonna be Aaron Rodgers? No. Do I think he's gonna be Patrick Mahomes or we winning every year Super Bowl? No. But I think he's gonna be a serviceable quarterback that could get us over the hump if needed. But I really think a lot of it's Matt LaFleur and um, our ability to draft well and develop those players. That's what we do. We don't go hit this free agency and make big splashes. Except that, I mean, this year we did bring in Xavier McKinney, who's been an absolute beast. We drafted Evan Williams, a rookie who's been the top McKin. What is it? Xavier McKinney and our other safety is a rookie. And most games have been number one, number two rated safeties in the NFL. Like that's how much this guy's been playing. Evan Williams, he's been a beast, making good plays. We just draft well and we develop well, and our GM, I really like Brian Gutekunst, and I don't know, I think we're set up well for the future. Our team is the youngest team in the league, so that
Yeah, for the
bodes well
second
for
year in
us.
a row.
Yeah, that
For the
bodes
second
well
year in a
for
row.
us.
You will need a
So
gamble at some point if you
yes,
want to
yes,
be
mhm. I
legit. You know what I
I
mean?
agree because we don't make those moves sometimes. So I'm like, hey, let's go
You might
out.
need to though. Yeah, you will.
I've heard rumors of us going out and getting Miles Garrett. I'm like, make it happen,
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah, no,
But
definitely. And because you're the youngest team in the league, because you're set up in that
yeah,
fashion where you're still having success in that manner, yeah, balance it out a little bit more, get some proven talent in there that's going to make a difference, especially at like a defensive
exactly.
end position. If you plan on actually going far with this thing. So, like I said, otherwise you might hit a wall where you need certain things to happen, and I'm not a big believer. But like I said, that luck part.
You know, luck plays a lot into winning football games and winning Super Bowls, so I'll take it.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. But
all
yeah, no,
right,
hats off to you guys. So
it's been a good year so far, but we still got a long way to go.
definitely.
So, all right, well, I think that's gonna wrap up the show. Paul, I want to thank you again for coming on. Such short notice. Um, he may be our new Tuesday guy because I don't. Craig has a hard time finding it. Hopefully not, because
I
I
do
like
not
Craig,
commit to
but he
anything
has it.
consistently,
I
but
know. I know. It's
what
better
works for
having
you
more
is that
more
you
than
come
one.
on late. So at least I put my kid down. This is my free time.
Your free
I got to
time.
make videos at some point, though. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I pop out content on my channel constantly.
Um. Well, my schedule will change in January. I'll have to be going into work at 4, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna
I
be a
mean,
little tough. But
dude, at some point, we'd love to have you on our channel too. I would, maybe around one of the Green Bay games if you could make it, if we could figure something out. So, but yeah, I
it'd be
think that
great
would
to
be a
do
good
it.
way
We
to
should live watch the
advertise you.
game and be on. That would
No,
be.
you don't want to see me doing that. I'm not doing that. My channel will just bomb.
Yeah, it's all right. All right. Well, thank you, Paul. That was our week 7 takeaways, our power rankings as well, and a little landscape talk for the NFL. Hope your team's doing good. Unless you're in the NFC North, I hope you all lose the rest of the way out.
Or you're a
Um,
Cowboys fan.
or if you're a Cowboys fan.
Good luck.
All right, guys. God bless, and remember to keep it outspoken. All right, perfect. Ugh.